Welcome back to From Nine to Mom.
where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 hustle with the beautiful chaos that we call motherhood. And oh, chaos it has been today, Catie.
It's like, so this is the first week of my summer vacation. You're like a few weeks in, and it's just like, why is it such an adjustment? Why is it so hard?
It's a month in for me. And the truth is that this week, you know this, but our listeners don't. I went to camp, a very fun camp. I was there early, but not only was I there early, I was a week early. So Colton did not have camp this week. So my poor parents have both the kids at home, and poor me have both the kids at home trying to work. And it's just been the longest couple days I've ever had. This morning, I thought I was absolutely going to lose my mind. So I'm trying not to do TV as much. And we're going to talk a little bit about technology because it definitely has an impact. I'm seeing a correlation with behavior.
Right.
And I also want to give Colton nutritious food. So I buy $1 billion worth of groceries. They come this morning. I'm unpacking groceries. I make a waffle. I ask if they want butter. They said yes. I ruined Colton's life this morning by putting butter on his waffle. London Bridge is falling down. Tears, anger, screaming. He lost it. I lost it. I am the worst mom in the world. I am officially the villain of this household. And then my mom comes in like the hero an hour later and is like, hey, if you microwave that, the butter disappears. Did he eat the whole waffle? Did he? Yes.
Of course he did. So he said he wanted butter. Did you just want it on the side?
Well, that's a great question. I asked him that, and he said, you didn't give me enough time to answer, and I couldn't think, and I just said yes too fast. So, yes, he asked for butter. He admitted that after 20 minutes, he admitted that he said yes, but he didn't mean it, and he hates butter. And then I made him take one bite or he couldn't eat for the rest of the day. And you would have thought that I poured cement or soap into this poor kid's mouth because he was gagging.
Torture.
I tortured my children today, and then I wouldn't let them watch TV because I didn't want to.
Also, like, for anyone that hasn't looked, go look at our Instagram, because what kind of waffle is that? Like, that's like a legit, that's not an Eggo.
That's not an Eggo. This is a Kodiak protein waffle because my son also lives off of like
that
Z bars and carbohydrates. So I'm like, at least it was a good waffle. I even had a bite with my gluten freeness, and I thought it was delicious.
You can't put a protein waffle to waste. We get,
well, then I'm yelling at him saying, like, this is like a $3 waffle, bro. You're not throwing it away.
He doesn't get it. It's so funny, but that's the epitome of it, is like, we're just trying to please these children. And especially if you're working right now while your kids are home or your schedule's changed, it's like, it's a little bit chaotic. This week is our only week that Ryan's home and the kids are home and I'm working. I didn't take any time off because I'm also like, I don't want to take time off because I might need backup later in the summer, or like,
or want to do something fun, God forbid.
Deeper into summer, like, like, what if we want to go somewhere? So it's been an adjustment. And like, me and Ryan, like, every morning by like 8:00, we're looking at each other and he's like, what am I going to do? Like, it's only 8:00.
And it's your first week.
And it's like the first couple days.
Well, you did take that really nice walk that I was jealous of. So I'm proud of you so far.
We did. Well, we've been trying to figure out like what's going to keep the boys busy. And the first thing so far has been our water slide, like bounce house water slide.
Yeah, awesome.
It's been every single day and they love it, but someone's going to break an arm and I will be on here probably crying, being like, what happened?
It's going to happen.
So if we make it without that, it's gonna be torture. Yeah. And so that's been good. We tried doing the morning breakfast walk. So you like pack up the kids' breakfast and they sit in the cart and walk. But like, if you have boys, you understand how hard that is. Like, we had to bring so much food on this 20-minute walk so that they'd stay in the freaking cart.
Not even just boys, I swear. It's like these.
That's like, it's just like whatever part of they are. And then of course this week we're in like everyone wants to eat phase. So like, we went to BJ's, which is, I think it's kind of
like Costco. It's
right. So Costco, but I don't know if everyone knows what that is.
It's not what you think it is, people.
Yeah. And it's just a store. Yeah. So we go there last Friday after work and drop $400 on snacks. We're literally as of yesterday, we were out of berries, fruit, everything. Ryan had to go back and spend another $50 on more
Yes.
fruit.
I'm starting to hide snacks from the kids. Like they're not allowed to see them because I have to pack lunches for Colton every day. And
Mm.
this is the epitome of life. Casey's been begging for bananas. She's been on a banana kick. Everybody else is asking, I want bananas, I want bananas, I want bananas. So I go and I buy a bajillion bananas. So excited to give her a banana this morning. Do you think she touched that banana?
I don't like bananas anymore, Mom.
Exactly. Yes.
Yucky.
So
Yucky.
between the yucky banana and waffle meltdown, all I wanted to do was turn on Blippi or something, Minecraft. But guess what, Katie? I can't because it turns my kids into psychopaths.
Well, that's the issue. So, like, with working at home and you're by yourself with the kids, like, sometimes you need 5 minutes. I was talking to one of our good friends this morning, and I'm like, sometimes I just need to go to the bathroom alone.
Alone.
And I need to, like, or finish getting presentable for a Zoom call or be on a Zoom call. Like, what are we doing during that time? How do you keep, like, my kids are not going to sit and build blocks for 25 minutes while I'm on a call.
Yeah, no.
Like, Danny Go it is, or we've been like switching through shows right now trying to figure out what's going to be it. But like, for some reason, the TV is not as bad for us. The iPads are the real issue, and we're pro screen time in this house. Like,
Yeah, we're not
no
anti-screen
issue.
time until recent, and I'll explain why.
Yeah. And it's like you get them on there as the crutch to get you through what you were doing. Then you feel
Yeah.
guilty because that's all they were doing.
And
Then
then
you
they're
try to
acting
do
out.
something fun.
Yes.
Yeah. They're, and
Try
they're,
to do something
yeah.
fun after, and it's like the epic meltdown, like to ruin their
Outside.
lives.
No. And they're
What
like,
happened
no,
last
I
night?
want like, but then I don't know if it's like this for you too. Like it's hit and miss for us. Like sometimes they don't even want the iPad anymore. Like I'll put it like it's not a treat anymore. Like it's like they're like, "Hey, I'm sick of it. What do you got?
That
What
is
else you
so
got?"
funny.
And it's like they're not even on it that much. Like seriously, it's like for here and there or whatever, or like the car rides or um while in between, like sometimes Jack will go on it during Calvin's nap so that he doesn't wake
Yes.
Calvin up because that's also another nightmare if you wake that kid up from sleep.
Well, it's not just TV. Like Jack's getting to the age and Colton too, where they can play games and you can do
Yes.
educational games. And it's not that all screen time is bad at all. I think there is good, like I'm pro
Yeah.
screens, whatever. But I recently have noticed a correlation with Colton. Like if he loves Minecraft, and there's this horrific show, never let your kids watch it, Milo and something. It is like a guy who pretends to be a Minecraft chicken. It is painful, regardless of the
My
pain of
God.
it. It also turns Colton, like when I turn that off, he acts like I have kicked his dog and took every toy that he's ever loved. Like it is an epic meltdown. So I started to do research on the correlation, especially at his age, like 6 or so, on how screen time, TV impacts their behavior, brain development. I wasn't shocked, but I did get some good stats if you want me to share with you what I'm finding.
Obviously.
Okay. So I asked, like, in general, of kids at different ages. So screen time and brain development, children ages 2 to 4 who spend more than 1 hour per day on screens show lower scores on language and literacy tests, according to a pediatric study. Which I don't know if that's true or not, because I know some smart kids who have screens. But then obviously it's a study, pediatric study. Attention and behavior. Kids 8 through 12 spend an average of 4 to 6 hours a day on screens. Because remember, once they go to kindergarten, they work on screens. That's
Right.
how they do their
Right.
research. Even Colton did all his research for his projects on
Yep.
screen. Teens spend up to 9 hours per the study done by Common Sense Media. Excessive use has been linked to increased risk of ADHD-like symptoms. So think about the rise in ADHD diagnoses. Obviously, some of us really have it. But that being said, is this a true correlation? People are mistaking the symptoms
Yeah.
because that's kind of how Colton acts after I take the screen away. Social and emotional health. A recent study found that kids who use social media heavily were 3 times more likely to report poor mental health. And then 66% of parents are reporting that their kids struggle with sleep due to the blue light from screens suppressing melatonin. So think about it. It delays onset by 30 minutes or more. And what is everyone doing to their kids right now to get them to sleep?
Yeah. Popping pills.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last one that I have for like interesting stats is studies show excessive screen time can lead to delayed fine motor skill development in toddlers due to reduced hands-on play. So yeah, they're
Okay.
good at this, but they're not like catching balls or they're
Right.
sitting
Right.
scrolling.
Right.
And then basically it's just saying overall when kids are glued to screens, their brains get a constant stream of dopamine hits. The brain feels that brains feel good chemical, and it can make real life activities seem less rewarding and harder to focus on. Over time, it can impact the development of the prefrontal cortex, and this is going to impact their impulse control, decision making, social behavior, which could lead to issues with attention, self regulation, mood
Right.
swings, emotional resilience, all the things that I feel like every mom I'm talking to with kids aged 4, 10 is feeling right.
Yeah. And it's the ever going back and forth. Like you don't, and it's hard because like we did a poll and we do have some moms that are following us that are anti screen time. And I feel like at points I feel that way where I'm like, I can't. But then it's also I'm scared to let them go to like to cut it off completely and then them go to school and not know how to do stuff. Or I've seen kids that like don't know who the coolest cartoon is because they're not allowed to watch TV,
Yeah,
and they don't fit in because they don't know that. So there's like a socialization part to some of it, like where like right now Jack has been obsessed with Spidey for 2 years,
forever.
but like he's made everyone around him, like all the little boys around him, obsessed with that too. So like they all love that and they bond over it,
Yeah,
right?
because
Like
all the kids, like you go to
they're
school
acting out the
with
stuff
your
now,
backpack. Like Colton had his Minecraft backpack exclusive. Oh man, I love
Right.
Minecraft
You know,
too.
Minecraft, like it's like cute stuff like that. Then there's totally the downside of it. Like I've seen that where like we've used it, then they don't want to do anything else because they just want to sit on their iPads. But then I also like there's just so many ups and downs of it. Jack got on number blocks from that, and he
He could
at three
count
and
to
a
like
half could
300.
count to 100. Yeah, like he could count. So it's like that's not lacking. And I feel like we have to preface everything that we ever talk about on here is like kid to kid, and we're very not
Yeah, we're
judgmental.
not,
I feel
and
like we
we're
could,
not
we can,
doctors
we'll
or
sway anyway.
judges.
We'll sway anyway for whatever we're
Well,
talking about. But like,
but I think
it's
that's the
true
problem with us is because we are not like hardcore, like this is a
one
yes
way or
or this is
another.
a no. We're always playing in the middle. And one of the things that I like ask for tips and tricks basically to see like how do we in a household, because we all, you and I have jobs in social media and marketing. We're always on our phones. And how do we create consistency? We tell people this all the time in marketing. We tell people this in HR. You tell consistency is key, fair and consistent. People need to know their expectations and you need to follow through every time. And I think what you were just saying is the biggest issue is sometimes we're anti-screen because we're pissed off that the kids acted up.
I know,
And sometimes we just need 5 minutes or 30,
right?
and you need to turn on the TV and it turns into an hour and a half because you needed to get something done while you're
Yeah,
working
like
or
you were
cleaning.
saying with the groceries, like just so simple as that. Like and then it's like people will argue and like we'll get the kids involved. Imagine Daisy trying to help you put the groceries away.
Yeah,
Like you
she
just
tries.
need to
It's
freaking
a
get it
nightmare.
done.
It's a
You just
nightmare.
need it done.
And
And
my kids
then we
luckily
can
like
move on.
art, but then you give them an art corner. We have an art corner. They know where their supplies are, but now I'm putting groceries away. And there's paint on the wall,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
hair.
You like, give a little and it's like, oh, why did I do that? Like you just keep going through the ebbs and flows of it. But yeah, it's just like comes in phases for us. Like we go anti, then we're like, something will be going on and we rely on them for something to get through and that. But one of the things I was interested in was like, what are people considering screen time? Because I feel like, I mean, TV, like we all binge shows. Like, who are we to say you can't watch 5 episodes of
Just
Paw
wrapped up
Patrol?
sneaky links, you know?
Like,
Nothing more brain
it's
bleeding and
part
ruining
of
your life than that.
it's part of the world, right? Like to watch it. So like, I don't even think twice about the TV. But we have iPads for the kids. And I know a lot of people are like, and me and Ryan were talking about it because I told him we were recording this episode. And he's like, yeah, like a lot of our friends don't use iPads, but like, what are the kids doing in a car ride for 2 hours?
So I do have things that we do because my kids get car sick, so they can't always watch the
So
screen.
yeah, yeah.
So they have the mess-free coloring books. I'll do those. They have the magnet scenes that you can create scenes with. We do a lot of crafts and things of that nature because my kids can't read or watch TV for very long or they end up throwing up everywhere. So yeah, it's great. But that's the real reason. It's not because I'm trying to be like a better parent or something. It's because I don't want them to throw up everywhere. It's not
But
the
you
same
are.
thing.
But like, okay, so for instance, what craft am I putting in the car that these boys aren't throwing on the ground in 3 seconds?
That's the problem. They are throwing it on the ground in three
So I just
seconds.
need to go sit in the back with them and
So you
be
know what
doing a
I did
craft.
about you can't do this to your kids because they already know what a real iPad is. You know that
I
I lied to my
know.
kids for so long with those little
Yeah.
tablets with the pens and told them that was their iPad. They will color. My kids will color forever, and you can't lose that pen.
That's
It's
what like
attached.
and it's like we do crafts with them and maybe it is that we just have introduced the iPad so they know
Yeah, they
what
ask
that's
for it
like. But like
and
even
rather
when
have
we're
that.
like but like even when we've detoxed them, I mean we've gone weeks without using them before and like they still are not super interested in I mean they will do crafts but like it's a few minutes,
Yeah, and that's why it's kid to kid. You never know
right?
what their
Like I don't
interests
know.
are going to be. Girls
They
will
want to
talk to their
go
dollies or whatever for a while. Like I
right.
give her a new doll, and that's like
These
the
guys will
thing.
play cars. They'll play cars, but then it's fun to
They're
buy,
chucking
throw
cars
it.
at your head.
Yeah, like Ryan's getting hit in the head on a car ride. Like it's so hard. And I'm not saying the iPad's the only way. Like I'm sure I could work a little
We
harder
always
and
bring an
do that.
iPad
But
now,
like
though.
at
It's
what
not even
cost?
about working harder. It's like,
At what
what else
cost?
do you do? And what is it costing either way? And how do we stop the meltdowns? But I think
Yeah.
about us with social media and our parents' generation too, like the Facebook generation. The dopamine hits are so real. And we did not grow up when we were little with these dopamine hits. So, how do we get our dopamine hits? We talked to friends, we wrote a note, we got a note.
Yeah.
It was so different. Now we're overstimulated. It's like, I hate to relate it to this, but it is like this drugs, right? So the harder drugs you do, the you're always chasing the next high. And this is why people struggle with addiction because they want it to last longer or they need a better, it's a dopamine addiction. And we have a multiple generations of people now who are addicted to the dopamine hit and it's hard to break. So I'm sure after 3 weeks you see a difference, but at the same time, like you said, they're not going to be, they need to understand technology. Colton's even in daycare. And that's why I never felt bad about not
Right.
giving him the iPad all the time, was because at school they have tech. Even in daycare, he had tech for at least an hour a
Right.
day. And they played those games. He knew exactly what to do. So
Right.
he had that. So if he's not in camp this week, I'm not upset about him watching TV. It's just, how do I stop using it as a crutch and how do I help him
Yeah.
transition better? Because he does not transition.
Well, right, because you want to be able to use it and then transition to something else. And yeah, it's hard because I mean the more you detox it the more hopefully it just gets cut out and like you're right like when they go to school they are using it so like I don't really care as much but for me it's like right now we use them to get things done.
And do you find, I find that if they watch a movie or they play a game that is like educational or whatever, it's not as bad as pulling them away from YouTube or Minecraft or
Yeah,
something like that.
I am so happy that Jack doesn't really even like the YouTube Kids app anymore. He goes on there and he plays like a little Paw Patrol game where he drags the cars around. He has like Ryan downloaded like some educational games on there too. So like when I am saying iPad time, like Jack's rarely on YouTube anymore. Calvin's watching Peppa Pig still, but he's learning how to
They
do
came
some of
back
the
from
ducky.
holiday.
They don't live on our TV anymore. They only live in his iPad,
Okay. That's good. That's good to know.
which is just making him more addicted to the iPad probably. But he's learning to do the matching stuff with
That's
like little
fun.
duckies and stuff. So like they like doing those and Jack likes teaching him, how to
Yes,
do
they
some
can
of it.
have,
So
and that is
we'll get
fun.
to that point, but I don't know. It's all,
I went and bought a
you
bunch of
know,
games for him to play, but this is the problem. Me and my dad are working. Colton's wants,
mhm.
can you guys play Monopoly? Can you guys play Monopoly? He can't play Monopoly alone. Daisy's not old
Right.
enough to play Monopoly. So it's what, then you're like, okay, then I'm not effective at work. They did give me I got some tips from the pros.
Let's hear the tips from
These are
Quinn.
practical, doable tips just for working moms, it says.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right. So set free anchor time. So pick 1 to 2 key moments each day. I actually love this. Where dinner, bedtime, where everyone, including you, everyone at the family, puts your devices away. Even if it's just 20 minutes in those 2 times, it makes a huge difference that everybody
Okay.
phones are away. I like that one because it's doable. It's
Sure.
not asking
Yeah.
us to chuck the iPads in the trash and become, go make sourdough with our kids. Now, those of you who make sourdough, keep making it. I like eating your sourdough. I just not going to do it because I'm
Yes.
not good at it. Use tech as a tool, not a babysitter. So when you need screens, because life happens, choose educational shows or apps like we were talking about. So the Deputies
Yeah.
in a Row, Paw Patrol, and set a timer so it doesn't spiral into hours. And I think this is so important because that's what happens to me. I'll be like,
Yeah.
you can have 15 minutes because I need 15 minutes. But then my 15 minutes turns into a half hour, an hour. The timer's
And you're
gone.
like,
I broke the rule. I wasn't consistent. I didn't say what I was going to do. Create a family charging station. So designate one spot for all devices, phones, tablets to sleep overnight outside bedrooms. I actually love this, and I think it would be really hard for me. This helps everyone, kids and you, get better rest. So both of us, because I will do my New York Times in bed. You know this. You slept next to me before. So I'm doing my New York Times or reading my book. Keep it outside the bedroom. I don't know. Then model healthy habits. So kids learn by watching. This one's really important, I think. Narrate what you're doing when you pick up your phone for work. So how many times do we pick up our phones? We got a message from work or a click from somebody.
That's true.
And we don't tell the kids that's what we're doing. So they think we're just scrolling on our phones. You have to say, I'm checking an email from my boss. So they understand it's purposeful, not scrolling. So I'm going to start saying I'm checking an email from my boss when I'm scrolling TikTok.
I like that one.
You know,
that one's good. Yeah, say what you're doing.
Say what you're doing. Plan screen alternatives ahead. So a busy box, coloring supplies, puzzles, sensory toys. We need quiet time to work. So you're not time to default to a screen. So if anybody has tips that's listening to this of some of those, like Katie said, what do we use? Because we're sick of ours. I bought Daisy a new Blippi one 2 days ago. She lost it already. And for an hour this morning. I need Blippi. I need Blippi.
That's the issue though. So like you make those boxes and then they get bored of it way too quick, I feel.
It's bad. And then this is what as the kids get older. But leverage screen time management apps or device settings to enforce limits. It's not about spying. It's about setting consistent boundaries. So it's all about being consistent. Because I think there's nothing worse when you're like, one day you let them watch 3 hours because you needed it. And the next day you're like, no TV. And I do that.
I know. Right. It is confusing. I think that, I mean, from already just this conversation, that would be my biggest takeaway is like, how do I make it more predictable for them so they're predicting when they get it so that I bet that will help with the transitions.
Yeah, I think it would because they know this is going to, and they know to follow through. Right. And I was just thinking of this in my head. Sometimes we use screen time in my house as a like no more screens for the day because of how you acted as like a punishment. Maybe it's like not a punishment or a reward. It's just like you said, this is when we do it. This is for how long. You're not going to get punished from it or get it as a reward. Because then it's like a diet. Like, you know, when you're on a diet and you're like, oh my God, all I want is an Oreo. And then you get a bag of Oreos and you just can't stop because you're splurging.
Yep. And you just keep going. I think it is true though, like having the consistency until they can outsmart you, you know, and then we're in a whole nother ballgame.
It's already there.
Right? Like you're
like, let's watch this. Like he knows I like art. So I'm like, well, watch Mariah Elizabeth, which is like a little art girl. She's not a girl.
They try to pick something like smart.
Yes, they know you're gonna like to watch.
Like, it'll be okay. Mom will like this because it's a good show.
Yeah,
that's like Jack when he like picks snacks, and I'm like, pick a healthy snack, and then he picks like the fruit strip that has strawberries on it. It's like, well, it's healthy because there's strawberries on it.
Don't you love that? It's healthy, Mom.
Like it's straight sugar.
Preservatives and
that
sugar.
I got you.
That's why I'm hiding snacks now. I'm hiding snacks. We're telling Colton that he has to eat certain things. That's why I got those beautiful waffles. I will never put butter on his waffle again for as long as I live. You
better just throw that whole butter tub right out.
I almost did this morning. I looked at it and I said, I'm going to throw it all away. I'm going to throw it all away. I can't take the risk. I can't take the risk of ever giving you butter again.
It's so funny because my kids are so pro butter. They would just eat butter like out of the tub.
He eats butter all the time. He gets bagels with butter every morning. It was
just a this morning thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it, guys.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Well, I think
no matter which way you swing it, it's hard to be on screens, off screens, use them a little bit. But hopefully what we learned today is consistency may help.
We don't know. We're going to give it a shot. Consistency is key in all aspects of life, and we're going to try it out here, and we'll let you know how it goes in 3 days when Blippi's been on my TV for 4 hours.
Yeah, let's do a midsummer check-in of, I mean, it's almost midsummer for you, but end of summer, midsummer for me. of how the screen time's
And
going.
give us all the tips, but we're gonna have to clock back into the 9 to 5.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.